Alright, you're on part 3. Thanks for hanging out with me on here. Okay. So, I just finished Leviticus 16:15. And then he shall kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do that with the blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat, which is before the mercy seat. Okay. And it's sprinkled 7 times. 7 just is God's number, its completeness, all that. So the priest has just killed the goat, representing sin within the context of the Day of Atonement ritual. Within the deeper context, it's the 5th seal saints bringing forth the blood before the throne of God, saying, hello. Your people are in trouble here, Lord. It's time. Leviticus 16:16, and he shall make an atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel and because of their transgressions and all their sins. So shall he do for the tabernacle of the congregation that remaineth among them in the midst of their uncleanness. Okay. That's a mouthful. Alright. The priest is atoning for the temple. We know that when Jesus said, destroy this temple and I will raise it in 3 days, he's referring to his body. So the temple is the body. Excuse me. Christ atoned for the body of Christ, which is the bride. That's pretty clear. But I also think that this is literal, and it goes back to DNA somehow. That we will get glorified bodies. It may just be in the spirit. It may be physical. I don't know. If you do research on DNA, you find out that our DNA is capable of emitting light. Okay, this is scientific research that they found. We're capable of emitting light. If God is light, and light is a very interesting discussion about what type of matter it is, because light, photons, is both matter and energy. It holds both. Excuse me. If you have gamma radiation and you are suffering from radiation sickness, then your mass, your body, is charged. It has energy being held in it. That is why you get sick. It breaks down DNA. So, there's something about that. And look at the garden. In the garden, there was no death. Everything was fine. The Garden of Eden was great until Adam and Eve disobeyed God. And then death entered the picture. Something happened to our DNA. I don't know how. I'm not ascribing to tell you how. I'm just saying that something did. Because something happened on that level. This gets more into generations, genes. That is very deep. Very, very deep. And I think that DNA is actually somehow connected to word, and the word spoken to create each of us. That our DNA is the word somehow. Somehow. I don't know how. But somehow our DNA is the word that was spoken over us when we were created by our Father. Okay. That's kind of an aside. It's a big aside, I know, but continuing on. Leviticus 16:17, and there shall be no man in the tabernacle of the congregation when he goeth in to make an atonement for the holy place until he come out and have made atonement for himself and for his household and for all the congregation of Israel. On YouTube right now. Not just on YouTube, on the web. I don't know how many people have been getting for months now. Go into your prayer closet, seek me, go talk to the Lord. Don't, shut the doors, shut the whatever, okay? This is what I think it's about. The reason why all of us are getting words about meet the Lord in private. We are closing our doors. The only way that the high priest can go do the Day of Atonement, go in and do the sacrifice on the Day of Atonement, the only way he can do that is if nobody else is in the tabernacle. Okay? Only the priest may enter. Everything must stop for this event to occur. Okay? Excuse me. Leviticus 16:18. And he shall go out unto the altar that is before the Lord, and make an atonement for it. And he shall take the blood of the bullock and the blood of the goat, and put it upon the horns of the altar and round about. And he shall sprinkle the blood upon it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and hallow it from the uncleanness of the children of Israel. And when he hath made an end of reconciling the holy place, and the tabernacle of the congregation, and the altar, he shall bring the live goat. Okay. Wow, we got more, more stuff. Hath made an end of reconciling the holy place, that would be the temple, the tabernacle of the congregation, and the altar. Jesus is the altar. So he's reconciling the tabernacle of the congregation, the holy place, and the altar. This is, we all are one, as you know Jesus' prayer that we are all one as the Father and I are one. This is it. Okay. As far as timing goes, notice the blood that has to be shed. It is the blood of the bullock and the blood of the goat that must be placed on the altar. Okay, so it's only after great bloodshed that the bride or the woman of Revelation 12 is taken into the wilderness. It's only after there's bloodshed, so just bringing that up here. It's only after a great bloodshed, that atonement of Israel, that the wicked are sent off into the wilderness, those who are separated from God. So if you're looking for the rapture, the closest thing to a rapture is if you are the overcomer or you are the priest going in to see God, because you're not actually being sacrificed. You're in the process of actually doing the atonement, creating it. You're actually basically performing the marriage in a way. Okay, Leviticus 16:21. And Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat, and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions, and all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat, and shall send him away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness. Okay. And the goat shall bear upon him all their iniquities into the land not inhabited, and he shall let go the goat in the wilderness. Okay, back to the 2 groups of the 5th seal saints and the woman in the wilderness, which is the bride. These groups will bear the iniquity in the eyes of the world. They won't bow down to Satan and his army and his whatever. They're not going to fit. So these 2 groups of people, the 5th seal saints and the woman in Revelation, which I think is the bride, those 2 people are going to bear the iniquity upon them of the world, from the world's perspective. You are righteous, therefore you are in iniquity according to Satan. Okay. A land not inhabited speaks of both a wilderness, but also a place prepared. And this goes to Revelation 12:6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, and she hath a place prepared for God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. Okay. So, again, the man-child is the priest of the Day of Atonement. The caught up of the man-child, okay, of this man-child priest who is the overcomers, I believe to be the meeting of the face-to-face described in Leviticus 16. So whatever the spiritual event is that's coming, that is when you're caught up and you meet God face-to-face. In verse 16:21, however, there is talk of a fit man. Okay, so we go to this fit man that's going to go he's the one who goes and takes the wilderness, he goes and takes the scapegoat out to the wilderness. Okay, that's his job. In Hebrew, that word fit means ready, or he's made for that purpose. Okay, so now think about the bride hath made herself ready, the wise virgins who were ready. Okay. In the days of the Levites, it would be another priest that would have accompanied the scapegoat into the wilderness. So going back to the actual Day of Atonement ritual, there would have been a priest that took that goat out there. Okay, but in this case, I think there is more than one group of 144,000, or there's different branches of the overcomers, is essentially what I'm getting from this, is that there might be a 4th group, that you have a 4th group, another group of overcomers that basically escort the bride or the body of Christ to the safe locations prepared for them. Okay, so people who have had dreams of flying, translating, people leading them, whether or not that's... I'll be right back.